discipline has been tabled. Resolution 2018-103, a resolution of the town of Phillipsburg transferring section 8 using to the Phillipsburg Housing Authority. And
So moved.
I will second for discussion.
I thought this was tabled.
Is that,
No.
you're moving to vote?
Moving to vote.
Oh, okay.
I know we had a presentation. Oh, sorry, I apologize, Council President.
No, please, go ahead.
Yeah. I know we had a presentation. I missed a significant portion of it that we had from the accountant for Section 8. I still have some questions regarding the long-term impact. I've gotten conflicting information from HUD versus some of the explanations I've gotten from the Housing Authority. So I'll be voting no because I'm just not sure about the impact that this is going to have on the town. I can't say for sure that it's going to be 100% positive.
Councilman, how much time do you believe that you would need to do the research? Just out of curiosity, just ballpark, because I would consider tabling it.
Yeah, and I apologize. My app hooked up to my phone wasn't working over the weekend, so I didn't see the agenda until earlier today. I could probably have a more definitive response within 2 weeks for our next meeting.
Okay. All right. I find that to be acceptable. If you're willing to table this, I'd like to extend the same courtesy to Councilman Davis that we extended to Councilman Lutz. If he hasn't had the appropriate time, he just got the agenda today, if that's okay. Well, you did the motion, so I don't want to.
Well, was it seconded?
It was seconded, so we would have to
I can make a motion to table.
make a motion to table. Because I seconded it, I should probably. I'll make a motion second.
Sorry, second. I'll motion or second. Either one's fine.
Did we have a discussion there?
Yes. Well, this is a table.
Yeah, there's a motion to table, so.
I'm okay with the 2 time frame. I just want to, are we under a time frame right now? Mr. Rummerfield, you're in the building still? Is he still here?
Yes.
Mr. Rummerfield, how much of a time frame are we under?
There is no time frame. The only thing, like I said, what prompted this was the application for a RAD grant.
Okay.
But there's no time frame.
Well, I don't want to lose it if it's an opportunity, but I want to be able to afford the council in the appropriate time.
I received an email from HUD last week saying that the feds are going to come out with the Federal Register announcing the next awarding of the RAD. We apparently are in that group. So the quicker that the council does it, the quicker that the Housing Authority administers the program, obviously the better off we are. I only request, the councilman said he discussed with HUD and was getting conflicting information compared to what we talked about. I just ask the courtesy because HUD is just this huge animal. It's like calling the federal government. Depending on who you get, you may get conflicting answers because certain parts of HUD deal with Section 8, certain parts of HUD deal strictly with RAD, certain deal with Section 9, which is public housing. So depending on who you spoke to, I can understand why it may be conflicting information. I just ask for the courtesy that if there is questions to ask, that we be afforded the opportunity to respond.
I would absolutely agree. Is that okay with you, Councilman?
Yeah, and if possible, I know I saw that we are into the application. Is it possible to get an electronic copy of the application just to review to cross-reference the HUD items?
Yeah, I'll find out.
Okay, thank you.
The application, I don't know if it's public as of yet. It's an internal document with HUD. What the Housing Authority has requested, they give us the approval that we're on the list, then we have 60 days to apply.
Okay.
So I don't think there's an application for you to review at this point. I can give you a copy of an Excel spreadsheet that we submitted though. Basically what it says is that we've applied for a RAD. Are you interested in RAD or the Section 8? It's actually 2 different things.
Yeah, sorry, and not to deliberate the point. I'd be glad to elaborate more on my points, but you'd be amenable to it and council be amenable to it. I'm sure I can answer all those questions for the next 2 weeks.
Because it's really 2 different issues. One issue is the administration of the Section 8 program, which is the 210 units. The other thing that's kind of the locomotive moving this train is the RAD application. It's two entirely different subjects.
But you need the Section 8 program first in order to be...
The RAD program is a Section 8 program. The current Housing Authority is a Section 9 program.
Okay.
So it's really two different issues, RAD and Section 8. What we would be requesting is the council, and it's not even the council conveying it, we're asking that the council send it down to Newark, to the field office, and let them decide if the Phillipsburg Housing Authority should administer a program. If they sign off on it, then it goes down to Washington, D.C., and they have to review it also.
So this isn't, I mean, really, we're just giving you
You're not-
permission to apply.
Actually, you're not giving us permission to do anything, and you're really doing nothing but asking HUD to consider transferring the program to the Housing Authority. So, if there's more information you need, but this is not an action that council's taking. You're not transferring it, you're just asking HUD to transfer it, the
Right.
administration of the program.
No, I can tell you from my own perspective, I'm satisfied, I know which way I would vote, but I want to be able to afford the same courtesy to my colleague if he's unsure. I'd like for him to come to the table with...
The process is probably going to be lengthy by the time Newark reviews it and by the time DC reviews it. So I would suggest, I mean, if you're in favor of requesting them, personally, I don't know what's holding you up. Because you're not really taking any action, you're just asking them to review it and transfer it. So I'm not sure what other information that we're going to be able to supply.
Yeah, like I said, I'd be glad to consult with you. I just don't know if this did.
Appropriate.
Yeah,
Are you concerned with Section 8 or the RAD?
a little bit of both. So like I said, I can include that further, further elaborate.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
No, we would be moving to table it. I'm satisfied with what happened. I believe Councilman Davis will come back in 2 weeks with it. Roll call vote, Vicky, to table?
Councilman Little?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGramo?
No.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Holker?
I will also vote yes to extend to Councilman Davis the courtesy. So success. Resolution 2018-103, a resolution of the Town of Phillipsburg transferring Section 8 using the Phillipsburg Housing Authority has been successfully tabled. Councilman, if you're able to get that before the next Tuesday meeting, we can put it on the agenda then, because we will be taking action at the work session.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 2018-104, a resolution approving the issuance of a special permit for a social affair to Mariana's Pizza Cafe, LLC, DBA Mariana's. Council Vice President, I believe you're the one that asked for this to be pulled?
Yeah, so 104 is which one?
Well, the one that's read.
This, yeah, well, I need the whole thing, because there's two. So this is the one for Walters Park. We have two. There's one downtown and there's one.
Council Vice President.
So 104 for Walters Park. Is it possible we can move the location that's on the diagram? Last year, there were some issues with this being by the ball field and a baseball game being played and people not behaving themselves. So I request we move it.
I would agree with Council Vice President. I was there. My son had the pleasure of playing in that All-Star game, and there was some rowdy individuals under the tent at that time. So if we would be able to move that tent, that would be,
We will do that.
thank you.
Thank you. They would have.
There is no baseball game this year, if that makes a difference.
There's not?
We just talked
Yeah,
about
they
it today.
they reinstated the baseball game, just.
No, not the kids' game.
Oh, not.
There's not the
adults
All-Star game because
Fire-
they went to a
fire-
different league.
Yeah.
Right, just Friday night.
Oh,
Between
okay.
the police, or the fire and the squad.
So, and you're on the board,
But
right?
this is Saturday.
You're on the committee.
Right.
Are you okay with where it's at? I mean, if the committee's okay where it's at? If there's no children on the field?
Yeah, line with the- I mean, there weren't any issues last year.
There's no game Saturday?
There's no baseball game Saturday. No All-Star games. They
Okay.
switched leagues, so it's
Yeah.
not a.
Okay.
Then that's fine.
Yeah, as long as there
it's-
aren't going to be kids inside the... All right.
Yeah, as long as we don't have people heckling children, I'm okay with it.
So leave it where it is.
Yeah, it's fine then, if
There you
there's
go.
no game.
Are you going to be in there?
Now I am, yeah.
Okay, so resolution 2018-104, can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
No, we're good, Joe, you're behind.
You're
Let us,
behind.
just hang
We did
tight,
not.
hang tight, we'll be
We
up there. We tabled it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
We tabled and voted.
see that, Joe? So I get a second to vote?
Second?
Okay, roll call vote, Vicky.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGrom?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Colbert?
Yes. Okay, that was resolution 2018-104, resolution approving the issuance of a special permit for social affair at Mariana's Pizza Cafe. I'm not reading the rest, passed. Okay, resolution 2018-105, resolution approving the issuance of a special permit for social affair at Mariana's Pizza Cafe and 2 LLC, DBA Mariana's. Again, Councilman.
So moved. Yeah, for second, for public, right? Yes.
Second. Discussion.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss.
Okay.
I don't think Mariana should get both of them. I think it should divide between someone else. That's my own personal opinion. I mean, there's a lot of other people out there that would love to have a choice of this, and I don't think Mariana should get both of them. That's how I feel.
I agree. And we have 3 businesses with liquor licenses that are all within walking distance. All this does is detract from them. I'm with Mark on this. I don't, I know what LePacon does. They actually allow their firemen and their EMTs to have kegs in the nonprofits. Does the town make any money on these beer tents?
No, I don't believe so.
Let me ask that very important question
They
before
They only make money by selling booths, so.
They do,
yeah, they would
not the
have-
town.
The town does,
The town does.
yes. So when they sell a spot or an area in, could you help me out here?
Oh, okay.
They do have to pay for their site,
They
correct?
pay, and they also have to go through the ABC for special
To get
permits.
approved.
Not every business wants to do that.
Right.
The Mariana's has kind of mastered that. It's not like we haven't offered this to other people, but Mariana's is the one who steps up and does the paperwork and does what they need to do, so.
If I'm not mistaken, we had one other vendor a year ago. It was that brewery in Phillipsburg.
Brews.
Yes, and it didn't work out, correct?
Right, they went out of business, so.
They went out of business. So it was, my point is, it was offered to other establishments.
It's an expensive endeavor.
I have to agree with my colleagues. I do feel that we should be able to split it up. Has the committee, not board, has the committee gone out to the others?
It's open to everybody, just like the vendor applications is open to anybody that wants to do what they need to do to be there. The food vendors with their permits and all to the state, they don't have to go through, I mean, it's not. it's
And
not-
Mariana's
we went
the
to
only one
Mariana's
that
and asked
has-
them to do this. They're the ones that did the paperwork, they're the ones that have the, permit, they're the ones that are paying the money to be there for the event, so.
Okay. If they're the only ones that stepped up.
And actually, they had it all together in
Why
one,
to say no?
and I made them split it into two.
They are too.
Yes,
This one's weird.
the ones on Riverside.
I just think it hurts the local business down there.
Oh, what about Soma? Yeah, and,
We've got Soma, we've got Sandbar with 2 liquor licenses, so it's actually 4 liquor licenses down there. Now we have 5 for 5 hours.
I agree, but if they don't come forward and want to do it,
right. That's
To
the
be honest,
corner.
I think the communication was kind of horrible on this whole event, so I don't know that people realize it.
I honestly, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, so,
Soma has participated in the past.
They have.
I'm just guessing that they chose not to this year. The only problem, Council President and Council, is that if we put this off or we deny them, they have to go back to ABC, whoever wants it going forward, and ABC's not going to approve it by the time Old Town Festival happens, so it'll be a scratch. Vicky knows, I think it's a 30-day window for
21.
ABC. 21, I'm sorry.
well, if I recall from the town hall that was right over there, we told the public we were not going to have alcohol at this event this year.
I wasn't.
I was. You said it.
Well, that was a decision that the committee made, and you know, I don't usually stand over them and say yes or no on those things. And that was a committee decision, correct?
Well, it was talked about doing what we did last year. I mean, there weren't any issues that came to us directly as a committee. There was one. I don't know if you want to say it was a complaint, but unfortunately that had to go back to somebody who was representing an organization, not anybody from the committee, not, you know, I mean, the problem is with an event like this, you have somebody who drinks before they come to that event. We can't stop that. That's why the police are there to help us if there's an issue and the police presence is there. I mean, I think last year, unfortunately, at Purple Palooza, one of the businesses down there was giving us a hard time. I think the mayor spent 45 minutes talking to them because they were literally approaching people walking into the event and saying not nice things. And that was from one of the businesses down there, which was pretty sad, honestly.
My opinion is alcohol with kids. It's supposed to be a community thing.
Well, we said yes to Walters Park. It's the downtown
I,
that we're talking about now, only, not Walters Park.
But in general.
The only thing I would add, Council and Council President, there are controls in place. We spoke about that today. The area has to be barricaded with a 4-foot separation between fences, 2 fences that encircle the serving area, so no one can pass anything over.
But who's gonna stop them from leaving with 2 or 3 beers in their hand and giving them to somebody else?
Right.
Because that happened
Joe.
last year. Sorry.
no, I understand, and I appreciate that. I just need to, want to keep it.
Permit requires to stay within the confined area when you're consuming alcohol.
Right. I do remember last year, because we were on the main pathway, there were a few towards the end of the evening, they were walking up and down with the alcohol. And now that Council Vice President DiGirolamo brought it up, she's correct. I mean, and I also am not a fan of alcohol, however, I just literally passed 104, right? So, I won't pass it next year. That's, unfortunately, I agree. Well, no, my fear is, again, with the children, and Joe's right, you know, you bring the kids down there, there's the alcohol. So if it is a family event, I really don't want the kids, I wouldn't want my kids around the alcohol. I've seen people get a little rowdy, and last year, Palooza, correct me if I'm wrong, but there were some incidents reported to us from Palooza with the alcohol. I think you even experienced one in general. That might have been Mr. Dickey.
I did experience one down at Palooza. That's not my concern. My concern is this: if you're at Chappelle Park, the mayor already stated that you need a 4-foot space, 2 fences 4 foot apart. Explain to me where in Chappelle Park you're going to be able to put a fence that big.
Well, it's down there.
Even down there, where are you going to put that 4-foot fence and still be able to maintain its integrity?
Okay, so, yeah, I would agree. I haven't seen the setup for this on Riverside Way.
It's just like it was at Purple Palooza.
You have it down?
There's a diagram inside the permit.
Thank you, Mayor.
Bring it here.
Yeah, looking at that now.
Same spot.
Tickets.
Actually, the ABC also was reaching out to them about doing armbands so that they can monitor
That's
who's
correct.
supposed to have the alcohol cup. Anybody
The
can
town
have
of
it.
Easton has all these festivals every, all fall. And they have alcohol, and they don't have any issues.
Well,
People come to these festivals and expect to have drink, alcohol and drinks. I mean, you're the people that have the festival. Really are.
so the festival is to drink?
Pardon?
The festival is to drink?
No, but it's a part of these festivals. People expect this. I mean, there's not a problem in Bethlehem, any of these festivals you go to in the valley that sell alcohol. I mean, you sell alcohol, you sell beer, or bloody beer. You know, it's not like you have hard alcohol. And it's a policing situation. I mean, you're defeating the whole purpose of having the festival.
I'm just gonna take my kids to the park
25
every
years ago,
day.
there was no alcohol in any of the festivals. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, we are getting, we'll go ahead and vote. Yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman Davis, I apologize.
Two comments. It feels like we have a little bit of sliding goalposts, because it sounds like the original objection was that we didn't market it to enough people, and now we're discussing whether there should be alcohol at all. And I have no qualms with either one of those points, but I think in terms of being a dependable government, since we did it last year, if we don't want those things, I think we should try to communicate it a little bit earlier so that we don't have some of our local businesses trying to perform the same action and be stultified at the last second. And I will say, just for sake of comparison, I know we've made some cross evaluations to festivals across the river. This is definitely the most stringent requirement out of any of the festivals that have alcohol. So if we're looking in terms of a happy medium, I think that the mayor, chief, and the ABC have done a good job in terms of making sure we have a secure area for that. You know, when you go over to Bacon Fest, beer and bacon is one of the main attractions that they have around the main square. And that's obviously not the main attraction here, and I think that's a good thing. It is still a family-friendly event. It's just an added incentive for some people to come down. So I would encourage my colleagues to vote in yes, and if there are qualms about it, that we would send some type of resolution or motion endorsing or not endorsing the inclusion of alcohol in next year's event.
That's fair.
I have comment.
Councilman Bebe.
For me, I don't think this is a very hard, for me, this is not a hard decision. Walters Park is in a secluded area where there's nothing really around it, so they offer the beer there because there's no other option. But there's also, like you said, we've already passed through 104. That's a whole other discussion on whether to have a 104 type of big deal next year. As far as the downtown goes, there's an opportunity for us now. Mariana has already passed on 104 and 105, so they're going to be getting their business. It's not like we're shutting them out completely, nor we're shutting out the committee of money from a vendor. So that is being taken care of. If you have 4 liquor licenses in a proximity of about 1 block down there, what that does is a couple things. I've always said right off the bat, by moving this down to the blacktop playground down there, Riverside Way, and the inclusion of hosting their own beer and being next to water, which the Delaware River can be very unforgiving at times. That will worry me, that would be on our head. By having the 4 liquor licenses off and not involved in our festival, God forbid something would happen, we would be sitting up here wondering why we voted yes to something about having alcohol down by the water. So, with that being said, I will not be voting yes for this. I'll be voting no. And if somebody or myself or anybody here in this room wanted to go get a cold beer, they can do so by walking probably less than 35 yards. It's not like you're shutting it out. And for this location, is why? Because it is being offered. Walters Park, as like I said, we've already passed this discussion at the time. That would handle a couple things. One, we're also meeting the halfway in the middle of talking about no alcohol at all. So at least for half the festival, we are not offering it. That takes care of the folks that don't want the alcohol there. It also supports the local businesses, the folks down there. It puts some people on the street actually, walking around, making it look a little bit larger, and actually letting people experience, maybe if they've never really went to those places, they can go and see what that's about, maybe promoting our small business. More importantly, it takes the onus and the liability away of green flagging alcohol right down there on the water. We're kind of new to this down by the water. I know Easton's master, Councilman, it's great. For the most part, if we're in this long of a discussion over it, I'm not going to vote yes to this because I don't want the liability. They can walk to those establishments to take care of themselves, and when we're meeting everybody halfway in the middle. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on this item? There being none, we'll call for it. Thank you.
Councilman Lutz.
No.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo.
No.
Councilman McVeigh.
No.
Council President Fulford.
I will vote no on account of Councilman McVeigh being a politician and persuading me. That makes perfect sense. Resolution 2018-105, resolution approving the issuance of a special permit for a social fair Mariana's Pizza Cafe just at Riverside Way has been defeated. It's not passed. Okay, we'll move forward to a resolution 2018-107, a resolution providing for appointments to the Ethics Committee. And who took this off? Council Vice President?
I did. I'd like to table it. I just got the contact information for all the people that were interested in this, I believe on Friday, and I did not have time to contact them all. I sat down to do it Sunday, and I know I personally like to focus on family on Sunday, so I thought it would be a little disruptive to start dialing everyone on Sunday and interviewing them to see if they wanted to be on an ethics committee should one exist. So, I request we table this so we have time to properly vet all the people that were interested. I know you were able to, but I was not, so I would be voting no at this stage if I did vote. So I'd ask to table it so we can have time to thoroughly vet everyone.
Fair. I believe I said yes to table others where they didn't have an opportunity.
I don't know how everybody else feels. I
I
just didn't
think
have enough
that,
time.
just for the record, I did send them out earlier, but it was during the email migration, and I have a feeling that if you go through your email into your junk folder, you guys may find the,
I checked, I didn't have it.
you didn't?
No.
I think it's on in there. I'll let you go on there.
I have a point of information, Council President.
Yes, sir.
After rereading the ethics ordinance, I think there's 6 positions. Am I correct?
There are, yes, sir.
So I see 5 names listed on this resolution. It says 2 vacant positions.
I apologize, that's a typo in my account.
And is the vacant position, this last vacant position goes through 2021 as well, correct?
That is correct, yes, sir. That was my fault, Councilman. I sent the clerk the, so we do, actually, and I did have a nominee as well, and I had shared it with the mayor, I believe it was last week, Mayor?
That's correct.
I will, in full transparency, I will tell everyone who my nominee would have been for that. It would have been Pastor Slack. I did have a very lengthy discussion with him as well as everyone else here. But I do believe that my colleagues deserve the same fairness, and if they have not had the opportunity to meet and discuss the ethics committee with these individuals or other individuals that they would like to speak to, I am certainly open to tabling this.
So just, I'm going to comment again since there wasn't a second yet. I know all but one you're proposing, and I'm not saying I'm opposed to them, but in fairness to everybody else that was interested, who I may not know as well, several are going to be excluded just based on conflicts because the ordinance states you can't be on a board related to somebody on a board, an appointed member, work for the town, be on the emergency squad, the fire squad, or blah, 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 for obvious reasons, because they could all be subject to the ethics. So anybody that's on a board or married to a member of a board, you're already excluded. But I think in fairness to those people, we should let them know that is why.
Except for the...
School board.
Doesn't count. If you-
That's correct.
Right, if you
But
read the ordinance.
if they happen to be married to somebody that's appointed on another board in the town, they would be.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
So, in fairness to all those people, I think it's proper to.
Is there someone on there?
There's a couple, actually. And I just don't know that they've read the ordinance enough to know that, so. Which, I don't know why they're planning to be on it if they haven't, but.
I don't think she's telling the truth. I'm just saying. If she's lying.
I'm just trying to interpret what blah, blah, blah means.
So, Resolution 2018-107, there was a motion to table from Council Vice President DeGramo, am I correct?
Yes.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote, Vicky.
Councilman Little?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGramo?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Polk?
Yes, we'll go ahead and put this on for, is next week enough time for you, Council Vice
I will
President?
start calling tomorrow. I'd like 2 weeks, to be honest.
You talk so much, you really need 2 weeks?
I do.
All right.
Actually, I only have 4 questions for everybody.
We'll give you 2 weeks. How's that?
I put it on the next regular meeting.
Okay, so next regular meeting, we will go ahead and do that. How's that sound, Dave?
Okay.
All right. Resolution 2018-107, resolution providing for appointment to the Ethics Committee is tabled. All right, moving forward, there's no old business.
Council President, I think we have Resolution 2018-108.
Fireworks.
Fireworks.
That was the one that just came in, yes?
Yes.
Right here.
Resolution 2018-108, a resolution supporting discharge of fireworks at Old Town Festival.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
discussion. Roll call vote?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGrova?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Council President Holmer?
Yes. Resolution 2018-108, resolution supporting discharge of fireworks at Old Town Festival has successfully passed. We can now move forward to the mayor and administrative reports. Mayor, floor is yours.
As you may know, we have hired a pilot attorney for bridge construction at the Ingersoll Rand site. It's a very complicated and type of task that this attorney is taking on. They're going to evaluate the original pilot and then make recommendations to the town whether or not that pilot would be revised in any way, shape, or form, and I'll keep you posted on that. Okay. And the only other thing is the New Jersey Economic Development Commission will be here on Thursday to go over the Oz, to go over Ingersoll Rand, to go over some other, how can I say this, loan programs that they have. I don't know the exact name of it, but they're low interest loans.
Will that be available for us?
Yes, you'll get a copy of everything.
Thank you. Is that all?
That's it.
Okay, I apologize. Moving forward, we can do public petitions, and this is the time where you all get to come up here and yell at us. So you can come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. State your name and address for the record.
Don Dickey, 5 Randall Street. I'm also one of the vice commanders at Ernie May, the local American Legion post. First of all, I'd like to thank council and the mayor for taking part in the Memorial Day Parade. It was appreciated that you just showed up. Also, it's my understanding that through conversation with Vicki, June 14th, there was an approval for flag retirement ceremony over at Walters Park at 7 p.m. I'm officially extending an invitation for council and the mayor to be present for that. It'll be at 7 p.m. at the band shell.
Mr. Dickey, just so you know ahead of time, that is my wedding anniversary. So
It's also Warren Hills Regional High School graduation, which I do the sound for, so I'm doing double duty too. So.
depending upon the day, how it goes, I could, yeah.
But I'm also doing double duty. I'd also like, and I'm probably overstepping my boundaries here, seeing how I don't have the approval of the other 2 officers for my post. I'm going to go and overstep.